Welcome to TWIN BUSCH Germany, your competent specialist since 1997 in professional vehicle workshop equipment. With a corporate headquarters in Germany and 9 other branches in 7 countries, as well as over 40 sales partners worldwide, we are one of the leading manufacturers of vehicle lifts, wheel balancers, and tire changers. Hello, we will now show you how to assemble your TWIN BUSCH garage lift TW242G. The TW242G is delivered as a single package. Please note that a regular delivery only comes up to the curb. Remove the packing straps and place the 2 packages with the motor and the additionally ordered hydraulic oil aside. You will find the instruction manuals inside the package with the motor unit. Read them carefully before continuing with the installation. The motor unit can be put aside for now. Let's go back to the bigger piece of the package. There are other parts inside the post. Remove the lifting arms and put them aside. The lifting arms won't be needed until the end of the assembly process. The package with the additional parts can be found between the posts. Make sure your delivery is complete by checking the package list. The first post can be removed now. To remove the screws on the transport frame, the post should be secured first. For this, lift the post slightly with, for example, a motor crane to relieve the bolts. Then you can remove the bolts. The upper post is usually the main post, which can now be taken to its place of installation. Before beginning the assembly process, you should consider the position in which you will be placing your TWIN BUSCH lift. First, you will want to decide where you would like to position the main column that houses the control and motor unit. Keep in mind, the position in which you place this column is where you will be operating your automotive lift. On this side, you will need some space for operation. Also from this side, you have the electrical connection, which if possible, is better from above. The positioning of the main column and secondary column play no role in which direction the vehicle may be driven onto the lift. This is determined by adjusting the position of the long and short carrier arms. You can change the position of the carrier arms when needed, to change the direction at which the vehicle may be driven on the lift. It's important to leave enough space at the front and back of the lift. You can recognize the main post by the suspensions for the motor and control units. Take the main post close to its place of installation. We will put down the post here for now. Remove the floor plate and put it aside. You will find the control unit and the 2 remaining lifting arms inside the second post. Move the assistance post to its future place of installation. Also keep in mind that the required ceiling height must be slightly larger than the post height when erecting the posts. If the ceiling height is not enough in the place of installation, you should proof if the required height is available somewhere else in the assembly location. All twin bush 2-post lifts can be shortened in height and length if required, but be sure to be advised beforehand. Remove the transport frame at the top of the post. We will put wooden blocks under the base of the post to protect the floor while removing the transport frame. The first post can be erected now. Be very careful that the columns cannot tip over before you have securely fixed them to the ground. Position the second post now. We don't need the motor crane anymore. We will now position the main post. The optimal post placement depends on the already existing equipment in your garage and the required space in front and behind the lift. Raise the carriages to the first locking position to continue with the assembly. Warning: it's possible that the locks don't grip properly due to the steel cables on the interior of the post. That's why we advise to use wooden blocks to secure the carriages, so that these won't fall down. The length of the floor plate gives you the exact distance between the posts. Put the floor plate between the posts and align them exactly. Finally, check the posts with a piece of string for alignment. The string should form a straight line to the posts. Here you can see how to adjust the posts by turning. Here we show an example of how to drill and fix the anchor bolts. Be careful to drill the right size and depth, and the right concrete thickness. If the anchor bolts are not fixed correctly, or if the concrete does not conform to the technical requirements, this could affect the stability of the lift. The exact technical requirements can be found in the instruction manual. To fix the anchor bolts, you do not have to move the lift. Drill vertically and take care of the depth. Be sure to remove all dust and debris from the drill hole. Drive in the anchor bolt carefully and straight, using a sledgehammer. Before tightening the nuts, check your columns to make sure they are correctly aligned and level. If necessary, you can level the posts with the delivered spacers. When the posts are level, tighten the nuts with a torque wrench to 120 Newton meters. After the posts have been anchored, the floor plate can be removed. Lay the steel cables now. The steel cables lead up from the carriage around the upper pulley. From there, all the way down to the lower column pulley, and to the opposite column. And the same on the other side. The steel cables are now connected to the two lifting carriages and forms a looped circuit, which forces the carriages to work synchronized. Pull the open end of the steel cable out of the post, the other end stays in the carriage. The steel cables are hanged from the pulleys on both sides. To hang the steel cable, the opening on the pulley should face the top of the post to make space for the cable. When the steel cables are mounted correctly, the end should be properly secured. For this, the cable's end will be pulled down from the carriage, then the nuts will be screwed until the end of the thread and blocked with wrenches. Repeat this process on the other side. The still open ends of the cables will then be guided through the bottom pulleys. The apertures of the pulleys should again be rolled so that the steel cables can go through correctly. The open ends of the cables will then be fastened to the carriages with 2 nuts for each cable. These nuts will now be screwed in lightly and must not be locked until adjusting the cable tension. The hydraulic hose will be positioned between the posts next. Fasten the hydraulic connections tightly with the proper wrenches. This completes the work between the posts, and the floor plate can be mounted again. We will now mount the motor unit. Place a screw with spacer, shim, retention ring and nut in the upper long holes on each side. The motor unit will then be simply hung on the main post. Place screws with spacers, shims, retention rings and nuts in the lower holes as well, and fasten all the screws tightly. Make sure all hydraulic connections are tightly fastened during the installation of the hydraulic hoses. The installation of the hose that connects the motor and the post follows. Open the control unit. Inside the control unit you will find the screws to mount the unit on the lift, as well as the limit switch. Screw the control unit to the main post with the 4 screws. The installation of the limit switch follows. Remove the mounting screws from the limit switch. Before you install the limit switch, the arm should be adjusted slightly longer. The limit switch is mounted slightly tilted in the inside of the post. Guide the cable of the limit switch downwards through the provided duct. Unscrew the cable grommet and slide it over the plug of the limit switch. Please note, the following electrical installation should only be carried out by a qualified electrician. For the exact wiring and the latest information on the electrical installation, please always refer to the instruction manuals. Fill the tank with 10 liters of hydraulic oil, but at most up to the max mark. Close the tank tightly after filling it. Let's mount the lifting arms. We need a bolt for each arm. Pull up the lifting arm locking pin to bring the lifting arm into the correct position. Then insert the pin from above. The arm locking system can be found between arm and carriage. If it doesn't lock correctly while lifting up, an adjustment is then required using the 3 Allen screws. We will now focus on the lifting pads. These are simply inserted. Make sure that the nut of the thread protection is properly fitted. Mount the rubber door protectors now. Use the included screws to do this. The installation of the foot protectors follows. Each foot protector is fastened with 2 screws and 2 shims. Make sure to screw the protectors correctly. The protection bar must be under the screw. Make sure that the foot protector and the oil tank don't collide while elevating the lift. Now, place the Seeger rings on the lower part of the pins. To conclude, we will unlock the lift and bring it down. The speed of descent depends on the weight on the lift and the room temperature. Cold temperatures lead to a higher viscosity of the oil, which means that it takes longer to go down. We will now show you how to correctly adjust the cable tension of your 2-post lift. The cable tension is necessary for synchronizing both carriages. Use 2 24mm wrenches to loosen the nuts. We use a tire lever to tension the cables. Start with the post opposite the motor side. This side usually just needs to be adjusted once to get your base tension. All further adjustments are now made exclusively on the main post. Since the leveling cables are connected to one another, tensioning the main side now automatically leads to tensioning on the opposite side. Raise your lift upwards and pay attention to the clacking sound of the safety locks. The side with the hydraulic pump should click first, then the opposite side. Remember, before adjusting the tension, lower the slides to the next locking position, using the lock button on the control box. When the locks click at the same time, the optimum cable tension has been achieved. Now take the wrench again, and lock the upper nuts on both sides. This completes the adjustment of the steel cable tensioning process. Be sure to tighten all nuts, bolts and hydraulic hose fittings before working on your lift. We wish you a great time with your twin bush lift. Enjoy, and thank you for choosing Twin Bush.